We're Jonathan and Jennifer, and you're watching Well-Traveled Life. And today we are in Bora Bora, French Polynesia. This is one of those iconic islands that you hear about, see in all of the magazines, and dream about for a tropical vacation. Bora Bora is probably best known for its crystal clear waters, gorgeous mountaintops, and those overwater bungalows that you dream about spending the night in. And we would tell you to make a reservation, hop a flight, get here, and have that magical vacation. But as a cruise passenger, you're really probably only here for a day or a day and a night. And that's different. You probably aren't going to be going and staying in an overwater bungalow if you're only here for a day or a day and a night. If you're coming to Bora Bora for a day, it's a different experience than coming for 3 days or a week. Our experience was really unique and really special. We want to share it with you and talk to you about the way travel can unfold in special ways that you don't expect and that maybe make it even better than when you thought you were getting. Let's start out though by explaining that Bora Bora is a tender port, meaning that your boat will have to dock just off the shore. It's a very quick tender into the city. Vaitape is the main village on the island, and you will tender right into town. There is car, scooter, and bike rentals right outside the entrance of the port on the main street. Once you get off the boat, you are in an area of the city where you can do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of walking, but there's not a whole lot there that's going to keep you busy for a day. If you're lucky, you'll be greeted by an amazing group of gentlemen singers and ladies who will ply you with fresh fruits and beautiful headdresses and lovely sarongs. There is a circle road that goes around the island. It's about a 20-mile drive around the entire island. The most common beach to go visit is Matira Beach. It's a 1-mile long public beach and it's about a 10-minute drive from the port. There are 2 huge mountains that you can't miss seeing, and you can hike, but only around the base. There's Mount Otomanu and Mount Paia. Mount Paia is 2,380 feet tall, but as I said, you can only hike around the base. The top of it is too fragile and they worry about rock slides. So you've got about 2.5 miles worth of trails, but they aren't especially well marked. You want to expect to spend 5 or 6 hours on that, and our suggestion is that you would use a guide. Polynesian Island Tours has guides that can take you on that hike. Immediately as you get off of the tender and into the town, you will see the Tahiti Pearl Market. This is a family-owned business that is right downtown. They're open from 9 to 5:30 and have definitely grown their business over the years. There is diving and snorkeling in the lagoon, and we would suggest you use Lagoon Service Bora Bora. There is also whale watching if you're here during the right months. The whales from Antarctica come up between October and January and will be in Bora Bora, Moorea, and Papeete during the October to January months. They will be mating and calving and getting ready for their trek back down to Antarctica. The cool part of this is during this season, they are not feeding, and it is safe to be in the water with them as long as you're respectful and aren't getting in their way or interrupting the mating process. On the island of Bora Bora, I would suggest Tahora Bora Bora. They are known for their guides, and they will allow you to swim with whales out in the Pacific Ocean. This is one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences. I can't imagine not taking advantage of it if you're here on the island. You do need to be a strong swimmer because you will be swimming in the wild, and there's no guarantee that you'll see whales, although the groups that go out are very good at finding wildlife. If you're just looking to snorkel in the lagoon, that's where you will get those crystal clear waters and you'll have the opportunity to see lots and lots of marine life. But all of that is the typical tourist kind of thing to do. We went a little more local and had a little more authentic experience. This is the French Polynesian island memory that will probably stay with us the longest and is, to this day, the strongest of our memories. We left town and just took a walk. We happened to walk next to the Home Depot, Bora Bora style, and ran into a group of kids that were playing in the street. We don't speak much French, and remember, you're in French Polynesia. First language is Tahitian, and the second language is French. Speaking of language, let's talk real quickly about one of those real funny things about the language. There are very few letters in the Tahitian language, and B is not one of them. So you may wonder, how do you get the name Bora Bora if there's no B in the language? Well, it was actually named Bora Bora with a P, but the missionaries and explorers who came and found Bora Bora heard it wrong and translated it, because there was no written language up until they came, to Bora Bora, and that name is what has stuck. So now you will see B, but the only place you really see the B is in the name of Bora Bora. Back to our adventure. We ran into these kids and began speaking with them. Even though we didn't share language, we almost immediately shared an interest in the flora and the fauna of the area. I think they recognized that we were taking pictures of flowers and plants. We were asking questions about the names of some of the plants and trees that we were seeing. And they were very interested, not only in our iPhones, but in trying to understand the names of the trees and the plants in English as we were saying them. We had two young ladies who were absolutely stunning ambassadors for their country, who took us up to their family garden and showed us every plant that they grow in a sort of cooperative garden area. They pointed out lychees, mangoes, pineapples, bananas, coconuts, limes, lemons, oranges, and a couple of other fruit trees that I believe were papaya and guava. They then took us down to show us the beehives that their family keeps. They have 4 very active hives, and we got to go see those along with the bees and the honey they were making. And we had by this time amassed a group of 3 boys and 2 girls who became our official Bora Bora hosts.
Bonjour Yuti, bienvenue à Bora Bora.
The boys were interested in us taking their pictures posing like they were sparring. That's apparently very popular on the island. I saw a father teaching his young sons to spar in the street. I saw these boys posing, sparring. That's obviously a big deal. Bikes, scooters, sparring, swimming, surfing, volleyball, gardening are all popular activities for kids here. Later in the day, we spent time back on the beach, walking through a few shops and watching the sunset over the island. It was really interesting how the town sort of came alive in the evening. As the sun went down and it got cooler, there was a beautiful breeze, and we could see kids out on bikes, parents sitting on benches, and children everywhere playing. The other thing we noticed was the smell of cooking food was pervasive throughout the town. There are a number of food trucks and what I would call food parks where folks were sitting and enjoying a meal. It was being cooked fresh right there on the spot. That seemed to be the most common form of restaurant that we saw on this side of the island. Most of the Overwater bungalow resorts are on the opposite side of the island. Not far away, just about 10 miles, but not within walking distance. In all of Polynesia, we see these very, very slender canoes with the single outrigger, but we had a treat, a young man who followed our tender boat and was able to actually keep up with us the whole time that we traveled to the ship and back. And I was on the tender 3 different times and he was following our boat every single time. What an amazing physical feat that was. I think that was one of the things we really noticed is everybody was trying to do something special. So whether it was swimming to keep up with the tender boat, rowing to keep up with the tender boat, doing tricks on bikes or scooters, or sharing their language and their garden, everybody had something to show us that was beautiful. We left with flowers behind our ears, great pictures, wonderful stories, and promises to stay in touch with our new friends. This is what I mean. Bora Bora might be about these phenomenal resorts, but for us, Bora Bora became about the children that showed us their island.
Miel.
Miel.
Honey.
Honey.
So we call honey miel, honey, you eat it, but we also call, like, he's my honey. Yes, Kingsley.
To see more of French Polynesia, join us for our videos in Moorea, Vaitape, and Vaitape.